Don't mess with mirrors. Many people remember from childhood scary stories about the world of the looking glass. What only we didn't tell each other, about the hand that appeared from the mirror, dragging the girl into the darkness, about strange creatures flashing there after midnight. And what kind of fortune-telling related to candles and your reflection? I want to tell you a real case that happened to my friend's daughter. Everything told is true, let the experts find explanations. My daughter's friend, let's call her Ksailasha, has always liked me, pretty, thin as a stalk, with thick fluffy hair. The only thing that prevented her from establishing herself among her classmates was self-doubt and some kind of downright painful modesty. Dissatisfaction with oneself, apparently, accumulated over the years, and turned into real complexes, manifested, as usual, at a transitional age, when our girls turned 15. Ksailasha didn't like everything about herself, especially her eyes and narrow lips, which, in her opinion, were not big enough. I often heard their conversations with my Vika at the mirror. "What are you making up?" my daughter urged. "You are very pretty." "Everyone says I'm a freak," Ksailasha said with tears. "And it's true, look how scary I am." Yes, the children did not spoil each other with tenderness at their school. That's how it was heard around when I was walking down the corridor at recess: ugly, goat, fat, and these are still the cutest words. Many parents are probably familiar with this picture. But what they say is not always true. My Vika tried to convince her friend, they often call each other names just because of a bad mood, to tease. Only Ksailasha could not be persuaded. Ksailasha was so convinced that she was the ugliest in the world that she almost stopped going out for walks with her friends, and I'm not even talking about meetings with classmates. I can imagine how she looks at herself in the mirror all day and suffers. And so it was. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, my friend called and asked me to come urgently. "I'll probably have to take her to a psychiatrist," Tatiana complained with tears, half mad herself from fear for her daughter. Imagine, he doesn't want to live, he barely looks in the mirror, he screams that he has never seen such an ugly woman. She stopped going out on the street, refuses to go to school. What to do? Yes, it's strange, I whispered, glancing at Ksailasha's tear-stained, but still lovely white-skinned face, on which the unusual blue eyes shone especially brightly. "Let me try to talk to her." I went up to the girl and said decisively, "Ksailasha, this story must be stopped immediately. I hope you understand that your complexes have gone so far that Mom is going to send you to a psychiatrist. Let her go there herself." Ksailasha shouted. "She gave birth to such a freak, she still wants something from me." "Well, what a freak you are!" I exclaimed, took the girl by the shoulders and led her to the mirror of the closet, which stood just opposite us. And was stunned. Instead of Ksailasha, some terrible creature looked at me from there, small eyes slanted to the side, a crooked nose, even teeth, and they stuck out in different directions. I even recoiled. She quickly pushed the girl aside and looked at her reflection, hoping that it was just a defective mirror. But I looked the same as usual. "Danya, come here quickly." I called my friend. "Look at that." I brought Ksailasha to the mirror again. History repeated itself. In the reflection that we saw, it was difficult to recognize our cute. "My God," Tatiana was amazed, "how did you guess to look in the mirror?" After all, I was convinced that my daughter was crazy on the basis of appearance. Unbelievable, how can this be? Xylasha didn't understand anything either. She won't believe us, she'll say we're lying on purpose, I whispered. Let's call Serioza. At least because of the crying and screaming, Xylasha's 3-year-old brother was still awake. Well, look at Xylasha first, then in the mirror, I asked. What do you see? The child looked in the mirror and burst out laughing, pointing at the reflection with his finger. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga, the child pointed in the mirror and continued to laugh. Xylasha didn't understand anything. Is there a mirror in the apartment that you never look at? It dawned on me. Yes, in my parents' bedroom. Let's go there. We dragged the girl into the bedroom. Look at yourself, what are you like here? Oh, exclaimed Xylasha, much better. Wow, and the eyes are nothing. She looked at herself in surprise. Tatiana immediately covered the mirror in her room with a calendar depicting St. Nicholas, lit a church candle and began to carry it around the room, saying all the prayers she knew. What is this phenomenon? She couldn't come to herself in any way, she would never have believed it if she hadn't seen it herself. I grew up in Ukraine, where beliefs in otherworldly forces and witchcraft are very common. I remember, since childhood, my grandmother taught me, before looking in the mirror, be sure to comb my hair, wash my face at least 3 times with water from the well. You only need to call yourself in the mirror with affectionate words, smile to yourself. And there was only one mirror in our house, and it was very small. It's a sin to look at your reflection for a long time. Grandma scared me. You'll see the beauty. Grandmothers forbade us girls to look in the mirror in a bad mood, with tears in our eyes. I never thought, before this case with Xylasha, that you could program your face like that, and that's how I explain the phenomenon that happened. Because of the ridicule of classmates, the girl believed so much that she was ugly, even ugly. She hated herself so much that she became like that. The result, in this case, the expression is the best fit, is obvious. Thank God, the changes only affected the reflection in the mirror, and what would have happened if we had not intervened in this matter and prevented trouble? It's scary to think. So we need to be attentive to what is happening to our loved ones. Not to dismiss what seems strange, incomprehensible. Much in this life is not yet available to our understanding.